We are told that positive thinking is the key to a better life. But what if the very act of trying to think positively is what's making you miserable? This is the paradox of the modern mind. We chase happiness like it's a destination, a place we can finally arrive at if we just force ourselves to ignore the shadows. But true positive thinking isn't about wearing a mask of optimism. It's about a fundamental shift in how you perceive reality itself. It's not the absence of problems, but the presence of a perspective that allows you to walk through them without losing your soul.
The world often demands that we perform happiness. We scroll through digital windows, seeing the highlights of 1,000 other lives, and we feel a quiet pressure to match that vibration. We think that if we aren't constantly up, we are failing. But Motivation Code suggests that the first step to genuine positivity is actually the acceptance of the negative. You cannot build a house on a swamp without first acknowledging the mud. Positive thinking, in its purest form, is the quiet courage to see things as they are, not as you wish they were, and still find the strength to move forward.
Consider the sunrise. It doesn't ask for permission to begin. It doesn't check if you had a good night's sleep or if you're ready for the day's challenges. It simply is. Nature operates on a level of existence that is indifferent to our internal weather, and there is a profound peace in that indifference. When you wake up in a cozy bedroom with the soft sunlight filtering through the curtains, you aren't just witnessing a new day, you're witnessing the universe's capacity for a fresh start. Every morning is a silent invitation to reset the narrative you've been telling yourself. Many of us wake up with a script already written in our heads. We rehearse the arguments we might have, the mistakes we might make, and the burdens we have to carry. We are experts at pre-suffering. We feel the weight of the day before we've even stepped out of bed. But what if you decided, just for a moment, to put that script down? What if the simple act of feeling the warmth of a blanket or the steam from a cup of coffee was enough to anchor you in the present? Positive thinking starts with these small anchors. It's the realization that the now is the only space where you actually have power. We often confuse positive thinking with the expectation of positive outcomes. We think, if I stay positive, everything will work out. But life doesn't always play by those rules. The car breaks down, the job offer doesn't come, the relationship ends. If your positivity is dependent on things going your way, it's not positivity, it's a fragile hope. True positivity is internal. It's the Stoic realization that while you cannot control the wind, you can always adjust your sails. It's about finding the beauty in the struggle, not just the victory.
Think about a person sitting on a park bench, just watching the world go by. They aren't rushing to a meeting, they aren't checking their phone, they are just there. In that moment of waiting, there is a choice. You can be frustrated by the delay, or you can see it as a gift of time. The trees don't hurry, yet everything is accomplished. When we slow down, we begin to notice the intricate details of life that we usually bypass in our haste. We see the way the light hits a leaf, or the way the wind moves through the grass. This is where positive thinking lives, in the awareness of the quiet miracles.
Motivation Code reminds us that our minds are like gardens. If you don't actively plant the seeds of what you want to grow, the weeds of doubt and fear will take over by default. You don't have to fight the weeds, you just have to give the flowers more attention. This isn't about denial, it's about focus. What you focus on expands. If you focus on your lack, you will see lack everywhere. If you focus on the small wins, the sandwich that tasted good, the friend who made you laugh, the sunset that took your breath away, you begin to build a momentum of gratitude.
Gratitude is the engine of a positive mind. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's easy to be grateful when things are perfect, but the real work happens in the mundane,
It's being grateful for the pen that writes, the chair that supports you, the breath that keeps you alive. When you start looking for things to be thankful for, your brain actually begins to rewire itself. It stops scanning for threats and starts scanning for opportunities. This is the science of a happy life, disguised as simple appreciation. We live in an age of constant noise. Our attention is the most valuable currency we have, and everyone is trying to steal it. We are bombarded with reasons to be angry, afraid, and dissatisfied. This is why a digital detox is more than just a trend. It's a necessity for mental survival. Putting down the smartphone and looking out a window isn't just a break. It's an act of rebellion. It's choosing your own reality over the one being sold to you. In the silence, you can finally hear your own voice, and often, that voice has something very different to say than the headlines. Positive thinking also involves being a good friend to yourself. We are often our own harshest critics. We say things to ourselves that we would never dream of saying to someone we love. We carry the weight of past mistakes like they are permanent identities. But you are not your mistakes. You are the person who learned from them. Self-compassion isn't about letting yourself off the hook. It's about giving yourself the grace to be human. A cozy living room at night, a soft lamp, a good book. These aren't just comforts, they are reminders to be kind to the one person you'll spend your whole life with. There is a profound freedom in realizing that you don't need to be ready to be positive. You don't need to have all your problems solved. You don't need to be in a perfect environment. You can find peace in the middle of a storm. It's like a bird perched on a branch, singing while the wind blows. The bird isn't afraid the branch will break because its trust is not in the branch, but in its own wings. Your wings are your perspective, your resilience, and your ability to choose how you respond to whatever life throws at you. We often wait for a big sign that things are going to be okay. We want the grand gesture from the universe. But the universe speaks in whispers. It speaks through the dewdrops on a leaf, the sound of a distant bird, the warmth of a fire on a cold night. These small things are the evidence that life is inherently good, even when it's hard. They are the anchors that keep us from drifting into despair. When you learn to appreciate the small things, you become unshakable because the small things are always available to you. Motivation Code considers the fifth method of positive thinking, the art of detachment, to be the most vital of all. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you aren't enslaved by the outcome. You do the work, you give it your best, and then you let it go. You don't tie your self-worth to the result. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you've gained a lesson. This level of peace is only possible when you realize that your inner state is your responsibility, and no external event can take it from you unless you give it permission. Consider the forest. It goes through seasons of birth, growth, decay, and death. It doesn't fight the winter, it prepares for it. It knows that the cold is necessary for the next spring. Our lives have seasons too. If you are in a winter right now, don't try to force the flowers to bloom. Use this time to strengthen your roots. Use this time for reflection, for rest, and for building the internal structures that will support your next season of growth. Positive thinking is the trust that spring is coming, even when you're surrounded by snow. Walking alone on a beach at sunset can be a lonely experience, or it can be a deeply spiritual one. It depends on the story you tell yourself. The footprints in the sand will be washed away by the tide, and there's a beautiful lesson in that transience. Nothing lasts forever, not the pain and not the pleasure. This realization shouldn't make us sad, it should make us present. It should make us cherish the moment we are in, because it is unique and it will never come again. This is the heart of Zen, being exactly where your feet are. True positivity is a form of discipline.
It's easy to be negative. It's the default setting for a brain designed for survival. We are wired to look for danger, to remember the bad more than the good. Overcoming this biological bias takes effort. It takes a conscious decision, day after day, to look for the light. It's a practice, like a sport or a musical instrument. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Eventually, positivity isn't something you do, it's who you are. As you stand on the hilltop of your own life, looking at the vast valley of experiences below, you realize that every path you took was necessary. The steep climbs made you strong, the wrong turns gave you stories, and the resting points gave you perspective. You don't need to fear the future because you have already proven that you can handle the past. The guide to positive thinking isn't found in a book. It's found in the quiet moments of acceptance, the small acts of kindness, and the unwavering belief that despite everything, life is a gift worth unwrapping.
In the end, positive thinking is simply the decision to be on your own side. It's the refusal to be your own enemy. It's the commitment to see the potential in every situation and the dignity in every struggle. It doesn't mean life will be easy, but it means you will be capable. And that capability is the greatest source of joy you will ever find. So take a deep breath, look around at the world you inhabit, and decide that today you will be the one who finds the beauty in the ordinary. You will be the one who chooses light over shadow. And in doing so, you will change not just your day, but your entire world. Motivation Code recommends that you start this journey not with a giant leap, but with a single mindful step. Perhaps it's just noticing the way the light hits the floor right now. Perhaps it's the feeling of your feet on the ground. Whatever it is, let it be enough, because you are enough, exactly as you are, and the world is waiting for the unique light that only you can bring to it. Positive thinking is the simple act of letting that light shine, without apology and without fear. It is the most natural thing in the world once you stop trying so hard and just allow yourself to be. The quiet power of a simple life is often underestimated. We're conditioned to think that more is better. More success, more stuff, more noise. But the most positive people are often those who have learned to be satisfied with less. They find joy in a simple sandwich, a walk in the forest, or a quiet evening by the fire. They don't need the world to applaud them. They are content with the quiet approval of their own conscience. This is the ultimate guide to positive thinking. Find the extraordinary in the ordinary, and you will never be without a reason to smile. As we conclude this journey together, remember that the sun will always rise, the tide will always turn, and your capacity for renewal is infinite. Positive thinking isn't a destination you reach, it's the manner in which you travel. It's the song you sing while you walk the path. So walk with your head held high, your heart open, and your mind focused on the good. The world is a reflection of your internal state, so make that state one of peace, strength, and unwavering light. You have the power to create a masterpiece out of your life, one positive thought at a time.